I should really get going now. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you later. No, wait. Now that you're woohoo partners, Beth wanted to ask if you could maybe put a little baby in her before you leave, perhaps? Hello, and welcome to the first installment of Generation 2 of my Sims 4 Legacy Challenge, the Build Newcrest Legacy Challenge Empty World variation. A take on the original challenge with a little bit of a twist. The entire Sims world is going through an apocalypse, and it's up to just one family to rebuild all of society from the ground up. As I mentioned, we are kicking off Generation 2 right here, so this is a really good place to get started. I'll introduce you to the family as we encounter them, but if you need just a little bit more context about Generation 1, I will be posting a short form video that's summarizing Generation 1 if you want to get caught up on all the lore but don't necessarily want to watch 37 videos. This is Beth Plot-Taker. She is our Generation 2 heir, and she has a set of goals to accomplish throughout her life before we can move on to the next generation. Hers are all focused on sort of further establishing a community, but also building a big happy family. Speaking of which, we'll officially swap her aspiration now, and she's already become an adult, but now we need to spend 1,000 simoleons on kid stuff. She is currently sick right now, which is why she has some blotches on her skin. By the way, I decided that Beth was just so in love with so many people while she was a teenager that perhaps, maybe she's not exactly a monogamous person. I don't really know what flavor of polyamorous I'm thinking of for her, but I did download the Open Love Life mod by Lumpino. A little bit more on that later, but if you want to download it as well, I'll be posting a link in the description of the video. So, you can see in her Simology panel that she prefers non-exclusive romantic relationships, but unfortunately she does have a fear of being cheated on, which might cause some problems later, we'll see. By the way, I manually aged up Beth's former teenage crushes to young adulthood because it was wild to me that they were still teenagers after Beth has lived so much of her life as a young adult so far. So in terms of all the people Beth is in love with, there is Alexis Flex, Jillian Richards, Jackson Leary, Taku Akiyama, who is already an elder. Oh boy. In love with someone that's the same life stage as your father? Awkward. And we are already in a romantic relationship with both Jackson and Alexis. If I'm not mistaken, I thought she had a few more crushes, but it has been a couple of weeks of me sort of avoiding them because they were still teenagers, so perhaps the relationships have already cooled off. This man with the gray hair is Angel Plot-Taker. He is our Generation 1 family founder. He's very sad over a recent death of one of his daughters. He is Beth's father. His wife passed away a little while ago. Continuing on with the family introductions, this baby is named Camille Plot-Taker, and she is the firstborn child of Generation 3. She is the daughter of Bonnie Plot-Taker, who is Beth's younger sister. Bonnie is a part of a set of twins, but unfortunately, her twin sister just recently passed away. Bonnie's husband and Camille's father is Iggy Pancakes, who is still a relatively new member to the family. And this last member of the household is Bee Plot-Taker. She is Beth's and Bonnie's half-sister because their father, Angel, was abducted and then pollinated by an alien, and Bee was the result. She is currently a teenager, and as of Generation 2, she can now go to school. So we're sending her off to her first day of classes. Okay, but she's freaking out so much about being late to the first day of school that she ran into the bathroom while Beth was using the toilet. Fantastic. Beth's sister, Bonnie, she's an animal enthusiast, and we have this chicken coop from Generation 1, so we're gonna start raising a hen chick. We're going to greet our little hen chick and enthusiastically pet it. Okay, so this Open Love Life mod by Lumpino automatically assigns Sim a preference between exclusive and non-exclusive romantic relationships, or they can sort of default into an indifference, which means that they can be open either way. So what I'd like to do is to approach each one of Beth's current love interests and assess whether they'd be okay with a more open romantic relationship. And if they're not, Beth is gonna stop pursuing romantic relationships with them. I don't think that she's into hurting people that she likes like that. Oh, we've got our first pop-up about being at high school. Movie day. The best day in any class is always movie day. Great, let's just forget about the fact that we still don't have electricity at this point in the apocalypse. The science teacher decided to show a movie instead of teach. Should we pay attention or just take a nap? I mean, it's your first day of school. Please try to pay attention. The movie is pretty good. This hardly feels like school at all. And we always wanted to learn how astronauts go to the bathroom in zero gravity. You know what? As an alien in disguise, that kind of does track. Oh wow, we're popping so many notifications right now. Iggy is flourishing as much as his crop of germinating plant friends. Is this budding emotion a sign that he likes gardening? Yes. Beth is cultivating honey from the bees. Oh, but she just hit a wave of sadness from her sister's recent death. Oh, she didn't change out of that beekeeping suit and now is crying in bed. Oh, poor thing. Let's add frames to all our photos. This one is of Angel as a younger man with his deceased wife, Penny Pizzazz. And from top to bottom here, these photos on the side are of Beth as a child, Betsy, who recently passed away, and then there's Bonnie, who also does not look like she was having a good day that day. Okay, it looks like Beth is out of bed and chatting with her sister and father in the living room. Still in the beekeeper suit, which is just a little bit unhinged. As for Beth's goals for this Generation 2 challenge, it includes having a form of transportation to sort of travel to other neighborhoods within the world, establish a winter holiday to bring your children joy. Before buying house number 2, she has to purchase Robo the Friendly Circuitry Kit. She also has to complete level 2 of the Big Happy Family Aspiration and has to visit the community park. Before building house number 3, she has to complete level 3 of the Big Happy Family Aspiration, visit the community park, and then to finally complete Generation 2, she has to have a legacy heir and then complete the Big Happy Family Aspiration. Ooh, okay, Taku Akiyama, who is one of Beth's boyfriends, has shown himself in. All right, this seems like a good time to chat with him. Let's ask him about his relationship style to figure out if he prefers exclusive relationships or not. Taku prefers exclusive relationships. Okay, well, if I ask you to have a non-exclusive relationship, how are you going to take it? Taku declined Beth's offer to have an open relationship. Okay, that answers that. Beth is going to have a serious discussion with him about her relationship preferences and the fact that their goals aren't really aligned. Except Angel has inserted himself into this conversation, which is awkward. So since he's also an animal enthusiast, we're gonna have him go outside and just socialize with our little hen chick for a little while. While we're at it, let's name the chick. We've been naming our chicks after different food dishes based on chicken. So this time around, we're gonna name this hen chick Alfredo. Okay, back to Beth. We're gonna end our woohoo partnership. Ooh, he did not look happy about that. All right, we're just gonna apologize since it's just not working out. And we're also gonna ask for the key to our house back. He's not taking that well. I can practically hear Taku telling Beth that she's gonna be sorry for calling it off. And look at her face saying, no, I don't think so. I just bought this shelf and apparently that took Beth over the threshold of purchases to complete the readily apparent stage of the Big Happy Family Aspiration. So now we'll just need to complete phase 2 as one of the requirements to move out of this house, which is very small, into house number 2. She'll need to read to a child for 2 hours. She has to become a parent and then socialize with her child at least 10 times. So it looks like we're gonna have to sort out the rest of our relationship soon so that she can then get pregnant as soon as possible. Should we invite over classmate Thalia? Talia? I don't know. Apparently both are correct. We'll go with Talia. Should we invite over her classmate Talia? Okay. B's result, below average. Maybe B should have prepared herself a bit more before exam day. Okay, well, to be fair, she's never been to school before. She doesn't know how to study. Now, I thought she was inviting a classmate over, but it looks like we also have a guest at the door. This is Charles Pancakes. He's one of Iggy's brothers, but looks like Charles is a teen, so maybe he can be friends with B. Iggy is gonna invite Charles in while B talks to her friend from school. Or is it more fair to say that she's going to freak out at her friend from school? B is introducing herself to Charles. Oh, this person in the blue hoodie that's walking past our house is Amy Scott. She is one of the crushes that Beth had as a teenager. However, it doesn't really seem like they have any romance bar left. Still, maybe we should check Amy's relationship preferences. They barely have any friendship left either, so maybe we just sort of focus on building that back up for now. Oh, hi! It's been a long time. It's so good to see you. Bonnie can hear Camille crying from the side yard, so she's gonna come back in and take care of her. Meanwhile, Angel is really going through it. Beth has come out of the house to talk to her mail carrier and a random sim. Oh wow, Camille just aged up. That's what I get for not checking Camille's Simology panel, or the calendar for that matter. Let's randomize her infant trait. She's a calm infant. Okay, Camille unlocked a smile milestone. Look at that happy face. Camille smiled for the first time. Socializing with Camille more will help her learn new ways to communicate. Alright then, let us get rid of this baby bassinet and replace it with an infant crib. Bonnie is gonna feed Camille. B is washing a dish in the kitchen. Her half-sister Bonnie already went to bed. Angel is already asleep in the top bunk, and Iggy is also going to share the bed with Bonnie. So it's our first night in the house, and we've already run into a problem in that we don't have enough beds for all the adults to sleep. So sadly, Bonnie's gonna have to settle for napping on the wooden bench in the living room, which does not sound very comfy, but at least the fireplace looks kind of cozy. Right, B woke up a little after 1 a.m. and is now going to read a book. Oh, it looks like Camille is up and crying. And just discovered a new quirk. Frequently hiccups. Camille seems to hiccup quite frequently. Infants with the frequently hiccups quirk have more gas in their tummies and hiccup more frequently. Each infant is different from the next and has 3 infant quirks that can be discovered over time. To read more about Camille's new quirk, visit the traits section in the Simology panel. As you can tell, B is furthering her vampire phase by studying up on vampires a little bit more. Okay, Beth has woken up, so B's gonna swap places with her and actually catch some good quality shut-eye now. Meanwhile, Beth is grabbing some food. Beth was chatting with Angel, and it looks like they've just established a supportive family dynamic. Some older Sims have a knack for providing reassurance and emotional support for their younger family members. The older Sim can serve as a good role model, sharing their many life experiences to help guide the younger Sim through life. Recently, it seems like Beth and Angel have this type of relationship. When family members have a supportive family dynamic, both Sims will actively provide affection and compliments to each other. That's so sweet. The older Sim will actively seek to console or cheer up the younger Sim. The younger Sim feels comfortable venting complaints or asking for help. Camille is crying, so Beth has picked her niece up out of the crib so B doesn't wake up and is gonna feed her. Quirk revealed, Camille is gassy. Camille has some tummy issues. Infants with the gassy quirk will be gassier, which can make them fussier due to discomfort. Oh my god, another quirk. Good appetite. Camille really loves to eat. Infants with this good appetite quirk will always accept the opportunity to feed, and they'll finish almost any food, regardless of how hungry they are. It's a little later in the morning, and while Angel went back to sleep, the rest of the household is up. Beth is gonna upgrade the crib so it has a mobile. There we go. Oh, it's so cute. Wow, is that Alexis Flex skating around in our neighborhood? Oh let's stop by and say hi. Alexis is one of Beth's crushes, and I think her boyfriend as well. Oh gosh, maybe it was a bad idea to skate, because this is the first time Beth is doing it and she's not good at it. Hello? I know it's been a minute since I've roller skated, but I don't think that's how you're supposed to do it. I'm gonna refresh myself. It looks like Alexis is already Beth's boyfriend, and we already know he's hot-headed and a geek. Okay. Unfortunately, after skating around for a while, Beth really needs a shower and she must relieve herself. So we're still gonna greet Alexis and invite him to hang out, but then Beth is gonna immediately go back home and freshen up a little bit. Okay, I can hang out for a bit. All right, while Beth tends to her needs, Alexis is chatting it up with B. Beth has finished her little hygiene moment, so now she and Alexis are gonna head out and grab some drinks at this little stand. Spend just a little time flirting. Okay, we're gonna ask Alexis now about how he feels about exclusive relationships. I much prefer exclusive relationships. Oh darn. Since that doesn't really fit with Beth's preferred lifestyle, she has seemingly struck out again. Okay, though, let's not quite freak out yet, because what if we asked to be woohoo partners, you know? Would he be open to that? That was a pretty lukewarm response. That doesn't inspire a ton of confidence. I should really get going now. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you later. No, wait. I mean, now that you're woohoo partners, Beth wanted to ask if you could maybe put a little baby in her before you leave, perhaps? Listen, I know you may not want an exclusive relationship, but this woman, she has a couple of life goals she's working on achieving, and you, sir, you can help. I'm not exactly sure why they weren't able to woohoo, but let's ask again. Nope, not happening. And I can't even click on the bed to make it happen from there either. Okay, so I'm just gonna read this as the universe telling Beth not to be dodgy and have a straightforward conversation with Alexis. So she's gonna have a deep conversation with him. She's also gonna ask him if he is open to having a polyamorous relationship. Okay, Alexis said no. Oh, he's trying to leave again. Excuse me, we were in the moment of having like a really important conversation here. Please don't walk away. All right, it's about time that we stop stringing him along, so we're gonna officially break up with Alexis. Oh, Beth is immediately thinking about babies. Okay, so true, queen, just move on. All right, and then to cement our friendship, let's just spend a little time chilling out, stargazing, since it's already nighttime. Oh, ow. Oh my gosh, poor Alexis. Let's take a little screen cap. All right, we finally let poor Alexis leave. Typical new parent infant lifestyle. It is 2 a.m. and Bonnie and Iggy are just putting Camille to sleep in the crib using the new mobile that Auntie Beth installed. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, well, confirmed that it wasn't just a little odd glitch. Bonnie and Iggy and woohoo in their bed just fine. B is coming outside to spend a little time staring at the sky. Oh gosh, I instructed her to come sit on the haystack, which I did all place these haystacks on top of each other, so of course this would happen, but she's also an alien, so we'll just say that she didn't know that she couldn't phase her body through objects like that. It's just one of her alien powers. I think this is going to be where we leave it off. We officially kicked off Generation 2. Beth has completed phase 1 of her Big Happy Family aspiration. Moreover, since she has so many crushes, Beth is pursuing a polyamorous lifestyle, polyamorous relationships, but sort of struck out with 2 of her former boyfriends who prefer exclusive relationships. So next time we will try to continue to find love with someone, a couple of someones that are down with Beth's lifestyle. And perhaps next time we can also open a store to sell off all the extra things that are in our household inventory too. Thanks so much for watching, kids. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye! All right, I have an update on my ankle injury. So I got an MRI and it turns out that it just wasn't an ankle sprain. I have a fracture, an ankle fracture. So I had to immediately get back onto crutches, be completely off my foot for a couple of additional weeks. And today is my first day off of crutches. I still have to wear this boot for maybe another 3 months, and I have to do some physical therapy. But here's hoping that it will get back to 100%, please.